Welcome back, everybody, and today I have behind me a handful of unbreakable, tileable basalt generators, plus my old stone generator design, just so you have a one-stop shop for stone generator types. So let's go ahead and get into the designs here. So our first basalt generator type here is 4 wide by 5 tall, and has one side of the generator clear, so that you have enough space to install a TNT duper or any other device that you want to fit into a given footprint. And so let's go ahead and run it here. I'll go in F5 so you can see. And there we go. As you can see, it clears out first the basalt that's already here, and then, assuming the device can move, then that signal then transfers through this moving blockchain over to this piston here, which pushes the next one in sequence. And if the chain here is full of blocks, like so, I think that was 12. You go ahead and run it here. Oh, we're almost there. Okay, now we can't move, and because this can't move, this system here that pushes the next basalt in does not trigger. And that is what makes all of these basalt generators non-breakable. And of course, the footprint here is tileable. You just have this redstone line on top of the pistons that you would trail down and do whatever extending techniques you need to if you want to, of course, extend this out to whatever length you would like. And the signal strength on top of the piston does not matter, which means extending that signal out is really quite simple. So let's go ahead and press it again here, and you can see, again, that does not trigger because it's full up. But once we start clearing out blocks, press that again, you can see the device activates once more. Let's go in F5. And you can see it does just keep moving. Now this next basalt generator here is 5 wide by 4 tall and has all of the redstone compacted to one side of the actual generated basalt block, which may or may not be preferable in your case. So if we go ahead and start it going here, as you can see, it continuously loops because of this little setup here, and it will continue until you have that full chain completely filled up, which should be any moment now. Next block, I think. And here we go, it stops. So if we go ahead and give it another input, as you can see, nothing happens, which may or may not be desired in your given use case. Now if we go ahead and break some blocks, such as maybe our TNT generator went off again, and re-input, you can see it goes back to this loop here until that fills up. This may be desirable if you want auto-building walls or any other possible scenarios that you could think of there. Now in your case, this continuous loop may not be desirable. You may want to go one by one. And so we have this, once again, 5 wide by 4 tall system here, but we've flipped that input over to this side here as such. And so when we place an input inside, you can see one input equals one block. And so with that, you can have a much more consistent output rate and not rely on whatever the output rate of the lava here is. Now the final device to show off for today is this stone generator that I've already featured on the channel before. And what makes this stone generator unique is that it will never produce cobblestone, no matter if you unload and reload the chunks or you log out and log into the game again. And additionally, this lava source will never be interrupted based off of how this system is designed. The only downside here is that it is a little bit slower than other stone generator designs. But if we go ahead and give it an input here, you can see it will bring down that stone. And of course, all of these devices here are built to output the stone downwards. Now, what makes this system 100% reliable is the fact that this lava flow here is interrupted every time an input is given. And so there's no chance of the lava flowing downwards before this water here can flow to the side, which means cobblestone will never be generated. Now, additionally, when I first showed off this device, I showed it off where the output was to the side, and if you make this modification here, according to these blocks that are left here, then your output will then go to the side. And also it will leave a little bit of water flowing below, which means you'll want to put an extra block or 3 to block that water output. And that'll keep going off to the side until it fills up. And once again, this will not break itself, although you will want a piece of obsidian or any other unmovable block there so that it doesn't extend downwards, if you're doing this system where it goes to the side instead of downwards. Now, of course, we can also show off all of these devices being tiled. So we have the first design here from the left. You can go ahead and press the input here, and you can see we have this chain extending downwards, like so. And that will just keep going. Now, of course, we also have the one that loops on itself. This is equivalent to the one above it, just the fact that it will loop until it's finished rather than individual inputs. So if we go ahead and press the button here, you can see that that will continuously run itself until it is full. And we can go ahead and wait for it since it's pretty fast. And it should be about now that it fills up. This one here. Nope. This one here. And then, of course, it stops. And we can break a block here to show that it starts up just fine and returns to its finished position. And finally, we have our stone generator here, which is all tiled out. Like so. And of course, with this design here, you don't need an observer for every chain here for the input. As long as your signal strength reaches to all of the redstone on top, it does not matter. You can space out your input observers as many spaces as you want, so long as you can fulfill that requirement. And one important thing to mention is that this repeater here is set to 4, so that you get 2 individual pulses going through the system to allow this double piston extender to return to its retracted position. So as you can see, this observer here pulses twice. And that is an important feature there. And that is everything for these basalt and also stone generators that you will need to know. Now, I'm not going to give a block for block tutorial because you can see by the arrows from my texture pack here that all of the individual blocks are pretty clear as to how to build the devices. So I'll give one last flyby here, get some static angles so that you can construct it in your own world. And of course, by the fact that I've rotated all of these around for the Tileable demonstration, none of these are at all directional north, south, east, west. And that's all you will need to know to construct these in your world. So that's going to do it for today. So have a nice day.